down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt,
And I'm Breezy.
and today we are returning back from a break. We're going to be dedicating this episode to the movie, the original, the one and only Halloween. But look at Breezy has her shirt for those of you watching on YouTube. That's
Woo!
awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! I have a stylish Cthulhu shirt, which I'm also
Yeah. Look
quite
at
proud
that.
of. Not quite Halloween, but it is cool.
Well, close to it.
Yep, exactly. But we were off for a week because we had to recover from the first ever Talk Bloody to Me party. And speaking for myself, I think it was the most fun I've had in years. What do you say, Breezy?
Well, I'm a party girl. I mean, but that was a hell of fucking fun, man. That was oh my God. Others had fun too, but a lot of people like your bean dip.
Yeah, I did bring some chili cheese
Oh
bean
yeah,
dip.
chili
That
cheese.
was
Oh my
was a
God.
huge hit.
Yeah,
But
that was so good.
yeah. So that was we should call that like the Talk Bloody bean dip or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff is good.
Yep. And we got to see some fans of the show and some friends, and one of the people was our friend Ryan O'Connor, who we mentioned in our last episode, who was doing some body casting parts or
Yep.
some parts for body casting, and he said to me that we were too easy on not terrified, geez, on in a violent nature in a and
Yeah.
he said we were way too easy on it. He said, I was like, well, we said I fell asleep in the theater.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not much to it. I'm like, God dang it, Ryan. I'm like, we're too easy. Okay. This
Yeah.
movie is horse shit. How about that, Ryan? If you're listening, how about that? The movie is horse shit.
Yeah, basically what he said, and I'm going to paraphrase, this wasn't his actual words, but basically he was like, look, I know you don't want to shit all over the movie, but that movie deserves to be shit on full
Oh, yeah.
force with both barrels. So
Yeah.
just feel
Yeah.
free to go for it. So
Yeah.
he made his
Well, technically,
opinion known.
technically, it is kind of a shit ass fucking movie. So, poop emoji.
Right.
So, that's what it is. Poop emoji.
Right. I need to learn some video editing so we can add that in.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
um yeah, so anyways, it was a fun time, but this week we are talking about the movie, the original, the John Carpenter Halloween, and we're talking about that because who is going to be at Crypticon from this movie?
Tony Morgan, and he briefly played Michael Myers, but he was the unmasked Michael Myers, so he's going to be there
Okay,
at
so he was
Minnesota Crypticon.
okay, so he was an unmasked Michael Myers for part of the
Yeah,
movie.
briefly.
Gotcha. And so what year did Halloween come out, Breezy?
1978.
Awesome. This movie I think of as like this and Texas Chainsaw Massacre are like the big ones of the 70s. There was some other good ones, that came out, but those were really the ones that sort of were the game changers and sort of defined the genre of the
Yep.
slasher with Leatherface and Michael Myers. And I think they were kind of like the 70s icons, and then in the 80s you had Jason and Freddy, and then in the 90s, I don't know, probably Ghostface and Chucky.
Yeah. Well,
He starts in
Chucky
88.
started 89, so
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, the different slasher icons over the years.
And that's Jamie Lee Curtis was like, I don't know, like 17, 18 when she started that one,
Yeah.
I
And
believe.
she looks like her face looks to me exactly the same. Like you can
Yep.
tell it's Jamie Lee Curtis instantly. Like even you see her on TV now, she looks exactly the same as she does. Like I don't think she aged other than her hair turned gray. Her
Right.
face looks exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Jamie Lee Curtis does an excellent job. Her mom was in the movie Psycho, so that's part of why they were excited to cast her.
Yeah, I had no clue. I had no clue that her mom was actually the Alfred Hitchcock
Hmm.
cycle. And then I actually looked it up. I'm like, oh my God, I did not like compare the two. I
Right.
had no idea.
It's kind of interesting when you learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how Michael Myers mask was created, how they made that?
No, how did it created?
They went to they had very little money, and so they went like where they were filming. There was like a drugstore or like a hardware store that
Hmm.
was selling Halloween costumes, and it was a rubber William Shatner Captain Kirk from Star Trek mask, and they like stretched it all out and painted it white and like messed with it, so and then it became Michael Myers. So Michael Myers is actually Captain Kirk from Star Trek
Huh.
originally. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Halloween is all about, Breezy.
Well, Halloween is obviously Michael Myers, but
Yep.
it goes way far. When Michael Myers was like, I don't know, I believe he was like 8, 9, 10
Yeah.
ish.
Mm-hmm.
It was Halloween, and he was um sitting there by himself. He didn't really go out trick or treating. That's what I'm gathering with
Mm-hmm.
the whole storyline. But his sister was actually babysitting him, and
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gathering is he's probably hated Halloween,
Right.
I'm
They
assuming.
don't
But
really
why would
explain a
he?
whole lot.
Yeah. And then he ends up killing his sister, Judith Myers.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, like his parents come home, and then he just like
He's just like
stands there.
like
Yeah,
deer in the
stands
headlights.
there. And then like 15 years later, he comes home,
Yep.
but he goes to his sister's gravesite and
Yep.
like pump, well, it looks like digging up, but who
Yep.
knows with Michael Myers. But yeah, 15 years later, then he's out to fucking kill.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like in a clown costume when he's a little boy and he kills his sister, and then they take the mask off and they're like, Michael, what did you do? And he's like, and then like they don't ever really explain like, well, did he have mental problems or whatever, but like Donald Pleasance plays Dr. Loomis, and he's basically like, he's evil, he's pure evil, he's the boogeyman. It's like,
Yep.
just lock
Yep.
him up, throw away the key, you know. So but there's a really cool shot when they first pull up to their at the beginning of the movie after that intro, um where they pull up to the insane asylum and it's all dark, and there's just the people in the robes wandering around and like the headlights. It's just a really creepy image, I think.
Yeah, it's very, very creepy.
Yeah, it's like it right away. So it's like, oh, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. I just wish that they would explain a little bit more Michael Myers as a kid form, like why did he choose to kill his sister?
Right.
Why is he like wanting to do that on Halloween? Does he really hate Halloween and wants to kill everybody? I don't know.
Right, exactly. And they've kind of tried to sort of half explain it in some of like the other, I think it's Halloween 5, there was some whole
Yep.
bull BS thing about like the Thorn rune and the cult and the destroyer, and I don't even know. That's all I remember was it was a bunch of crazy crap. And
Yeah.
but
Yep.
like they tried to make him be like more supernatural, like he was like a vessel of some kind of evil. And then like in the Rob Zombie Halloween, they show him a little bit more as a kid and what he's like and that kind of thing. But that's a
Well,
whole
it shows him more in the mental ward at Rob Zombie's,
true that too.
Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which do you like better, Rob Zombies or John Carpenter's?
I honestly like both. I
Hmm.
like John Carpenter because he does a really good job, but I feel like Rob Zombie is more of a in-depth graphic rather
Mm-hmm.
than John Carpenter.
Yeah, I agree
What do you
completely.
what do you think?
I think exactly the same thing. Like I always see all this hate online. Like people are like, Rob Zombies is better. No, John Carpenter's is better. And it's like,
Yeah.
shut up, you. And it's like, but I like them both. I think John Carpenter's obviously is the original and is awesome and did a bunch of things that never have been done before. And then Rob Zombie did what very few remakes do, is that he actually made a version of it that's possibly just as good or better, just because it's a little bit more modernized and goes in a little bit more
Yep.
detail. And he had more
Yeah, and a
money
little
to
bit.
spend
Well, yeah,
too.
and a lot more. It's a lot more. I guess like graphic and more killing scenes. That's
Yes,
what I kind of feel like.
right. More
But
violent, more gory.
I like both. I can't choose between the two.
It's like trying to choose your favorite kid.
Yeah, I can't. Nope, I can't. I'm in the middle. I
Yep.
don't choose sides on this one. So
Yep.
nope.
Um, so Michael Myers is stalking Lori, Jamie Lee Curtis, and he like is standing outside like the school window and like standing outside her bedroom window, and it's like the worst ever. Where's Waldo? Like, remember Where's Waldo, where there's like a million people? It's
Yeah,
it's like the
yep,
opposite of that. It's just Michael Myers and nothing, like a car, and Michael Myers like, hi, like.
yeah.
Or the
Because
laundry, like there's the wash post. He's just like standing in the yard, like, hey, like,
Laurie Strode was actually like it was her father's real like she was in a realty, not her,
mhm,
but her father, her parents, and she her dad wanted to hand the key
yep,
to go to Michael Myers' house, and that's where it all started with Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis.
because she like
Lori.
doesn't she like knock on the door and then he was inside the house and saw
Yep.
her
Yeah.
and he's like, hey
She didn't see
now,
him. He did.
right? He was like, hello,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you for the next whatever how many years.
I'm gonna follow you around.
Yep.
How did Michael Myers learn how to drive?
I don't know. I mean, how can he like drive when he's like in a like mental institute?
He was in the mental institution since he was like, I don't know, 8,
Yeah, something
and
like that.
and then he just gets in the car and drives away, and then the one doctor's like, he doesn't know how to drive, and then Dr.
And
Loomis is
like
like,
bullshit, he knows how to drive.
right, that's basically what Dr. Loomis says.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yep.
he did a good job last night, like that. And then it's like, well, okay, but did he just learn it? He's just good like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you think, Breezy? Do you think Michael Myers is supernatural in some way? Does he have some kind of powers, or is he just a normal dude and he's just crazy?
I don't think he has superpowers. However, I think he has something like really mentally wrong with him.
Right,
Like mentally like unstable
right,
somehow, some sort.
right. And maybe even some sort of mental, state where he's able to push his body beyond normal human
Yep.
limits just because he's that nuts and doesn't
Hmm.
care if his bones are grinding together or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
Because he does take a lot of damage.
He does. He does. Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite scenes in the whole Halloween 1978?
My favorite killing is the where he stabs and pins the guy, and then he
Okay.
just kind of stares, and then the guy's like hanging there stuck, and Michael Myers just
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
stands there and kind of like is like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, like
Yeah, he
admiring
does
it.
that too. He's like, I
Yep,
killed you.
yep,
What are you gonna do now?
yep,
Can't do
exactly.
nothing now. What are you gonna do? Kill me now?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
No,
hmm.
I have a few favorite scenes.
And then one other one, quick, I'll say, is when he's dressed up like the ghost with the glasses on the outside, just because I think that looks cool. Like I think it looks goofy and fun and
Yeah,
cool.
that's I was gonna say that one. That was when that blonde chick was just sitting there in the bed naked. She's like, like doing her nails, and all of a sudden, like Michael Myers and the ghost stuff and glasses. And she's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I was
Yeah,
like, "Dude, it's a sexy scene. It's a
right,
very sexy scene, but yeah, it's like he's gonna kill you."
right.
But yeah, I like that scene. I also like the scene um where Michael was outside and he was killing that dog,
Oh yeah.
like holding that dog.
Uh-huh.
It didn't really show how he killed the dog. It just like he was like holding it. It's like kind of like I wonder what he did to that dog. Did he actually stab it or what did he do?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy. It's like, did he like rip it apart with his bare hands, or did he stab it with his knife, or
I'm assuming he probably stabbed it with his knife.
probably.
But my all-time favorite scene in the whole movie is when Laurie Strode is in that closet.
Yeah,
And
that's
Michael, that scene has always been a favorite to me. And it's also probably the most common scene in that whole movie because it shows during Halloween too.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's a really good scene. Yeah.
yeah, I love that one.
Yep. The with the ghost, he chokes her with the phone cord, right? She's like trying to call for help.
The ghost part.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that yeah, she's like, I'm gonna call Lori. And then she's like, "Hey," and then he's like,
yeah, and then he wraps her around like yep.
and then they're like, oh, it's a prank. Stupid prank.
Dude, if it was a fucking prank, man, that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
But no, that scene's fucking hot. It's like sexy.
it is. I agree with you.
I know, I'm
There's a
weird.
couple, there's a couple of sexy parts in this movie, actually.
Oh yeah, name a few.
Well, there's some sexiness at the beginning when he's a little kid. I mean, it's not sexy
Oh
that he's a
yeah,
little
that's not
kid, but
really.
what he's witnessing.
Well, that's not really. Come on now.
Okay.
Wait. When the girl was like laying there naked and fucking just doing her nails, and all of a sudden a ghost, I'm like, oh hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? I
That's
know.
much better. You're right.
Instead of like Michael Myers just had put on a mask, and all of a sudden you see
Through
Billy,
eye
and
holes, like scopo vision.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I
How
say
much? How would you rate it?
I will give it 10 out of 10 buckets of blood. It's a fantastic movie. It's one of the best,
Mhm.
personally, I think. How
Such
about
a
you?
classic. Yeah, 10 for me. It's a classic movie, and I actually watch it every Halloween when it
Hmm.
Halloween comes involved. I watch all movies actually, but every 31st I watch this bad boy.
Yup. There you go. And what do you think of, let's talk about some of the various sequels and what do you think of Halloween 2?
Uh Halloween 2 and 3 is to me is kind of like a little bit drier.
Uh-huh.
That's
Well,
to me.
three's not even Michael Myers. Three is the masks and the Silver Shamrock.
Yeah,
And there's a
yeah.
whole story behind that they were going to make a whole series of Halloween movies that had nothing to do with Michael Myers, and everyone was like, "F that, we want Michael Myers," and they were like, "Okay."
Yeah,
So,
I do agree. Well, we want Michael Myers. We don't want this bullshit.
right, exactly.
So,
That's what the fans said.
yeah. So no.
Yeah,
What's the point?
right, exactly. There's the cool part where the kids' heads turn into worms when the
Oh my
masks in
God.
Halloween 3. And then
Yeah, I
Halloween
haven't watched it
4.
in a very, very long what 2 and 3 I haven't watched in a very, very long time because it's just not,
Right.
my thing. If I had to watch the whole thing over, I will legit skip those two and go on to the next.
And then 4 and 5 have Danielle Harris.
Yep.
Those are good. Then you have H2O and you have Resurrection. I forget which order they're in here.
Yeah, I forgot which order they're in too.
There's
But
Resurrection, H2O, the Rob
I
Zombie.
like yeah, I like every single one besides 2 and 3.
Aha. What did you think of Halloween Ends?
Oh,
Yes, it's a loaded question. It's a landmine. I threw a grenade at you.
I do like Halloween.
Hmm.
I do like Halloween Kills somewhat, but I do like Halloween Ends a lot more.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
That
see,
I like it.
that's your yeah. Well, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I
Yeah.
kind of thought Halloween Ends was dumb because there wasn't very much Michael Myers in it. It was all that other guy. But it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
cool how they finally do kill Michael Myers.
yeah. I think it was like all wrapping up to in like one big thing. That's probably why.
Hmm.
But
Right.
hey, at least Lori did not get killed in that one.
Right. Exactly.
I thought for sure she was going to get killed, and I was like, no, she cannot get killed. And all of a sudden, he gets killed. I'm like, whoa, that's a fucking put me through the ringer.
Yeah. I thought for sure they were both going to kill each other at the same time. Like it was going to be something where they
Oh,
like stabbed each other at like the exact same time and killed each other. I was
oh
waiting the whole
yeah,
movie for that. But
that that would have been cool, but I think like fans would have been like very, very upset with that.
yeah. Yeah. I think so too.
It's either you kill Lori or you kill Michael. Well, you gotta kill Michael somehow.
One thing I really like a lot is Halloween, the what is it, 2018, how she traps him in the house with the fire.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. And then when they do Halloween Kills and then they show him how he escapes and he just goes freaking bananas on those firemen. And
Yep.
that's a pretty kick-ass scene. I like how they connected the two. Like they didn't just be like, "Oh, he was fine. He got out somehow. Don't worry about it."
Yep.
Like they actually showed it.
Yeah, that fire scene was really good when he was sitting there and like looking up and that all that fire was coming around. Ooh, I love that scene.
Yeah.
Such a sick ass scene right there.
Right. Exactly. So, what else? Anything else to say about Halloween?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a classic. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it.
Do you think, yeah, definitely. A lot of people have
Yep.
seen it. Do you think Michael Myers runs really fast when no one's looking? Like he's like standing by the car and then they turn around and then he's like hauling
Um,
ass.
I think in some movies he does run fast and some he
Hmm.
is like speed walks, but
Right.
I think it just depends on who he wants to go to the fastest. That's what
Yep.
I'm gathering.
Yep. It's not quite on the level of Jason, who can sometimes, like in Friday the 13th, like literally teleports inside of buildings ahead of the person.
Yep.
It's like, how did what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good old Michael Myers. Gotta love him.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to another episode of Talk Bloody to Me. We love it if you like, share, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your neighbors, and
Yep.
thanks for listening.
And happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.